Dimitri,
Hi Andy,
hi, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and you?
Yeah, you're a little quiet.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'll try to do something.
Okay.
Now it's a bit better.
That's it. That's great.
Okay, do you have video? You don't use it?
Yes, let's see if I can.
Yeah, that's you, I
Gotcha.
think.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not very swift with
Yeah,
Skype. I rarely use it.
no, it's
Um,
okay. I use it
yeah.
quite often, and recently I started doing my interviews with it. So it's nice to see you, and finally we are talking face to face.
You were cutting out a little bit.
Uh, Wait a
Yeah.
second.
Yes,
And
good to see you.
yeah, now I think it's gonna be better a bit. How much time do we have?
An hour, if you need it.
Okay, thanks. Andy, I just wanted to be a formal, informal conversation,
Yeah.
and from it I'll make something that should do a trick of promotion, I think.
Great.
Uh, so uh, Let us start with with usual things. Uh, us- uh, do you want me to turn on the light?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Oh, but because it's quite a night and my family is sleeping, so
Oh, just I can see you.
yeah. All right.
Oh,
Uh, so Recently there's been a real surge in your activity. It's nice on many fronts in my eyes. The main point being that you're in a very good health to
yes,
be able to do so, and it's to me it's the greatest thing,
it's
a greatest indicator of what's going on. And the second, you're really doing well on musical front.
yeah. It's fairly unbelievable to have been down to nearly nowhere. To feel so alive, refreshed, feeling healthy, healthier than I had for years. Energetic. So it's like given a whole second chance. I'm really revived and so excited about life and what I can contribute.
And now you're gonna have let's call it a second solo album out. I mean, second in this period of your life. I don't mean your
Yeah,
old albums.
yeah.
So on assignment uh, means that you're feeling like being on some mission. What's your
That's
assignment?
true. That's true. Um, I think Naked and Finally Free was sort of like a very personal coming out, which I needed to get off my chest. Having done that, I feel a need to reach out socially, politically, and take on other causes, and not be so self-centered, perhaps. That's sort of out of the way. And I do feel maybe it's all of our mission to contribute everything we can. I'm a musician, I'm a songwriter. There's so many things that needs doing in the world, but it wouldn't be any good for me to go like pick up a shovel. It would be much better for me to put the message across in a song and inspire a guy with a shovel to go and do it. So that is, I feel like I'm on assignment.
But I would say that the only cutting song from the mission assignment point of view is the big one. But it's not really a new song because you put it out I think about a year ago, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so, so
Um, yeah, that is a mission which obviously takes on the global warming crisis. But things like Time to Face the Music is really about the Iranian situation.
Yes.
And and I feel so bad that they've been sort of squelched for the moment. I perhaps after
Excuse me. Like what?
squelched,
Ah, yeah.
they've been put down. Let me get rid of that for you 1 second. Hello. Who's calling? I'll be there tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, they did the same one as last time. Okay. Bye bye. Sorry about that.
All right. So about Iranian situation.
Yeah. Um, I suspect and hope that after Syria is taken care of, Iran will be in a weakened position and they'll give it another go because the people over there are very unhappy. Um, and it's funny how the government likes to keep the kids drugged. Heroin is very prolific over there um, because a drugged out youth population keeps them held down.
There are two points maybe that I could send across to you. The first thing is about a year ago I reviewed an album by of all styles of heavy metal band from Iran,
Mm,
who tried to play, like secretly.
hmm
They had one gig that was cut off shortly before it began, and that's it.
mm,
They play really good. And the second point is this situation. I'm in Israel now.
yeah,
Hopefully, in a year, we'll move to Canada. But now, there is stress, a real stress about what might, what may happen
yes,
in 2 months, in a year.
yes,
My family is very worried about what's gonna be and what should we do in case something happens, because we have here rockets, but if it's a nuclear weapon, something, very
yeah.
bad.
And your prime minister is quite hawkish.
I don't like to talk politics.
Okay.
More so, I'd like to be a bit distant from prime minister, because originally I'm from Belarus, I've been here for, I don't know, only or already 12 years. I feel here about almost like home, but it's not home.
Yeah.
When somebody says you're prime minister, no, I don't feel too comfortable about it. When they say your son or your family, yeah, I'm alright about it. But
Yeah.
your prime minister, he's
Yeah.
not my relative.
Yeah. Yeah.
The big one was one song, music. The second and the third song for me that cuts it in terms of lyrics was I Found God.
Is which one?
I Found God.
Oh, good.
Because of that line where you singing about your gayness.
Yes.
To me, it's still in even in modern world, it's a bit like being bold to say that
Mm.
in a song. So how bold do you feel?
Um, I'm actually very bold. Part of the coming out process, and because I got so low, I I don't care anymore. basically. You know, remember, I mean, when John Lennon first said, "Imagine no possessions," you know, it's easy to think about that now, but imagine no friends, imagine no sex, imagine nothing. What is left? Only God. And it's quite, I don't know if it's coincidental or how the universe works, but when you strip it all down to nothing, literally, when I came to terms with being gay, I also found God in my life. And I think that's maybe not so accidental. And it's sort of right in the face of all your religious homophobes. You know, when you find the truth, you know, it's in all aspects.
And how much of that cocky teenager that played Isle of Wight festival in 70 does remain in you now?
That cocky teenager. Um, I suppose I have mellowed. I mean, I suppose I'm still pretty bold. I mean, I've been very fortunate, which allows you to be bold. Um, I hope I'm a little more sensitive. Um, I was pretty cocky. I mean, the first day Free met, they were together, and they couldn't find a bass player. And when I played with them, they knew I was the bass player. And the first thing I said was, "Okay, I'm the leader." And especially Rogers, it was like steam coming out of his ears. Uh, but you know, they sort of, you know, they zipped their lips for at least 4 or 5 years. You know, so I was pretty cookie.
But
Yeah.
this mellowness is now is permitting permitting your music. If is it mellowness in purely stylistic terms, or does it come from your rage? Does it come from your experience? Where does this mellowness come from?
Both of those things, because about I'm still very aggressive about discipline, sleep, food, um, exercise. I can't wait to get up in the morning and start working. I work till I drop. So there is an aggressiveness still that you know that drives me on, but I don't get as easily thrown like a teenager. You know, teenagers' emotions. You know, oh, they don't love me anymore, but I don't care. You know, part of coming out is saying they don't like me. I don't care. I've got to live life for me, not for them. So
Somebody might say he's a millionaire just because of money. What would you say to them?
he's a what?
He's a millionaire.
Um,
I mean, some might say that
it,
a rich man don't care about the rest because they can afford it.
there's some truth to that. I mean, there is. I am sensitive to people who are dependent on homophobic bosses not to fire them, so they lose their job, their home, everything goes upside down. So I do have a sense of freedom. I mean, I care about people. Having when you don't need anybody, everybody that you meet, even checkout girl, it's an extra, it's a bonus. I like to have an interplay. I like to toy with them, um, make them chuckle. Everything is a bonus. Um, I can live without sex because I have imagined no sex. It, it, it's sort of fought for it that now I can live without it. You have to imagine nothing, and then everything else becomes a bonus. Feeling normal is so wonderful. It's unbelievable. And you only really value that when you're on your last legs, when you're just about to die. Feeling normal is really wonderful.
And I see the source of mellowness. Now I see, yeah, I really see it. But
Yeah.
some people, and to be honest, maybe even myself, sometimes think, why doesn't Andy strap on the bass, give the good riff, and plays his socks off in a bluesy hard rock sort of way like he used to. So
Well, that is about to happen. Um, I just got back from a month in England with Toby where we did um, sort of like a lot of um, radio interviews, sometimes a day. Toby and me would take guitar and bass and would spend an hour, singing a few songs together and chatting and getting Toby's name out there. Then we finished up with the Isle of Wight Festival, which went incredible. Um, and so I'm sort of back out there. We took great musicians from the UK and a great guitarist from Germany. And then actually 2 days after I got back, I went back to Germany and did one of their shows, although I'm not allowed to mention it. So I'm afraid you can't mention the name of the show, but it's one of their big ones. It will air in November when we'll be touring Germany um, with Toby. And through the next year, it will include Switzerland, Poland, Austria, maybe Russia if we can get it organized. And then by mid-year, we're hit Asia, which is Japan, Korea, Cambodia. Um, so, so yes, we're getting out there, and I suppose Toby has been somewhat of a invigorating force. His youth, enthusiasm, freshness, lack of old beery ego is refreshing. He is really sort of given me a reason to like sort of come alive again. It's great to be able to be of service to someone, and he's worthy of it.
so you
Uh,
preempted my
um,
question about what did you find in Toby, but let me ask you, how did you find Toby?
I used to play with a keyboard player in the Andy Fraser band about 40 years ago. Very good keyboard player, very cool guy. His wife now works for Toby's parents in the theatre school that they run in London. And she sent me one of Toby's songs. And I got very interested and said, send me over the various tracks and let me play with it. And they were very happy with what I did. I said, send another one. And he sent one with just acoustic and vocals. I sent back the track. Everybody was jazzed. So him and his dad came over for 3 weeks and we recorded the first album. He is just in the 3 weeks here, his growth as a musician was unbelievable. It's staggering. I've played with some of the greatest guitarists, and his potential is unbelievable. I mean, he's just like a sponge sucking it up. that we get good musicians to play with us, the Alawite or whatever, and he just can't get enough of them. Show me this, show me that. He just wants to learn, and he's free as a spirit. He's free lyrically. He's not afraid to be self-deprecating or what would be the right word? He doesn't need to put on a face to prove he's hard. He can be quite sensitive and not afraid to express his fears and hopes, which I think he does for everybody. Everybody has them. They just maybe don't admit it. And he's free enough to do that. And I think he's inspiring because of that.
Andy, doesn't it all what you just said sound to you like you describing yourself in your scenes?
Maybe. He's so polite. I'm not sure if I was a little more cocky. But he's determined. He knows what he wants. And that's more than half the battle. You know, he just pick up a guitar and play it all day. He's not easily rattled. If someone, like, say, tries to get under his skin and call him gay, he'll just look up from his guitar, smile, amused. He's very confident in his sexuality. Just go back to playing the guitar. Totally doesn't bother him. He's very, very solid, very mellow, but knows what he wants and is heading straight towards it.
And why there was a post on Facebook, I think, yesterday about the release of his album. Hasn't it been released already?
It's officially released in England. I think the single was yesterday, and the album is very soon. And we have done at least 2 months' worth of print press, because that's how long sometimes it takes to turn around. And next month, he'll be all over the English media. We've got front pages on Mojo, exclusives, a front page on Bass magazine, and all of the good ones. After we do Wembley, the next day we'll do Sky TV interview, and they'll probably play a few clips from Wembley. We intend to sort of really make some noise in England over the next month. So it's been a long time in the making. But
How much of that is down to you, to your fame, to your popularity?
I'm using everything that I have to open doors for him. So anyone who wants to talk to me ends up getting talked about Toby. So I use that opportunity, and I am using myself as an opportunity to open doors for him. And I'm sure he'll return the favor in years to come.
And in the last, I think 3 minutes, 5 minutes, you used the word free many times. So, what does it mean to you? Free as a band, as a state of spirit.
That's exactly what it is. That a state of spirit. And I think that's why Free broke up, because we lost that spirit. Paul, I think, was in the beginning phases of wanting to put together a Bad Company type of thing. which I thought was a sort of slimmed down two-dimensional version of Free, sort of stadium ready, not too sensitive. I miss that side of him, by the way, because I think he's written some of the greatest, mellow songs. Um, but when we started to become a cover band of ourselves, that's when you're not free. Fame and fortune are no substitutes for freedom. I want to be free and remain free.
But recently there's been now the name of free was everywhere with regards to Olympics. Did they really want to get together and play?
Yes, and we actually agreed to do it. Um, Paul and Simon and myself all said we would do it. And then in all negotiations, it all went sideways. I actually went so far as to talk to the company that did the hologram of Tupac and was going to put together a Kosoff one. So we would actually be playing with what looked like Kosoff stage and his actual taped music. It all fell apart. And it's sad because I thought it would have been a worthy thing to do. I'm behind the Olympics, and it would have been good. But there you go.
I think it would have reinstated Free like one of the greatest bands in the UK.
Yeah.
And when it comes to this, I always say that don't mention Take That or something. I know the best boy band in the world, the best.
Yeah.
To be where you and to close, this chapter. I don't want to talk about Free, and I'm sure that you're sick of talking about Free. Just answer me, please, one maybe uncomfortable question. It's just now it came up to my mind that DVD, free DVD, it was set to have everything, every video footage of free. But there is something lacking, and it's footage. I have it. I saw it from free in Japan, and that was where when you left. So wasn't it included in the DVD because of you?
No, I don't know about it, and I don't think anybody else does. So maybe you should share it with us.
But it's on YouTube.
Is it?
I saw it a few years back on YouTube when I downloaded it.
I'll search it out.
And it's very interesting because I think it was the phase when Kos was ill and Rogers played solo guitar.
I'll have to check it out. I didn't even know it existed.
If you want to find it, let me know, and I'll try to find it on my discs.
I'm very interested. Yes, yes. Send me a link.
Yeah, and so you made a trip to England, and now you're going back.
Yes.
So was it your first trip in England in many years?
Maybe a couple of years. I try to only go when I have to. It's usually cold. And this trip, it was, in the middle of summer, and it rained every single day. Maybe you heard about the Isle of Wight getting rained out. It was and cold and windy, and I thought, this is why I left. It's just horrible. You're nothing like California.
But there was a very touching, very moving picture of you with Frankie Miller. So did you get to meet your old friend?
Yes.
How
A
is
couple of days. Yes,
how is
yes. Both times. Every time I go to England, he came to the DVD opening. We had a big kind of to do where we invited a lot of people, and we did a Gibson showcase a couple of days before the Isle of Wight with Toby, where Frankie came down, and it was just great to see him. Um, I love Frankie. He was the best man at my wedding.
Really?
Yes.
If you mentioned it in your book, I think I didn't reach. I haven't reached yet
Yeah,
that part of it.
yeah, yeah. No, I love Frankie. He. It's amazing how much work he did before he was stopped dead in his tracks. I mean, he wrote a lot of songs.
Yeah, I
Uh,
had his last album that was released after his show. So
yeah,
I love him too. No, well,
yes.
can he speak now?
Not well, only kind of. On when I saw him, he was trying to tell me something, and he had this picture, and he was drawing diagrams. He kept saying three, three. I couldn't figure out what he meant, and I felt so bad. So it's difficult. I mean, I don't see him performing again. I, it's very, very sad.
It would have been great to have you on that tribute album to Frankie. You know there is a tribute album.
They included a song I wrote with
Yeah,
Frankie.
I know.
Uh, which song was it now? Uh, Standing at Your Window. Maybe we're talking about different tribute albums.
I'm talking about the album that had Rod Stewart, Maggie Bell, another, and a bonus disc of young Scottish bands.
Uh, it may be a different one. This one was
Last one home.
no,
Yes.
no, it's a different one. It's one since then.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you got to meet Terry.
Yes, yes. Terry Reid, as we all know, has been one of the greatest singers. I mean, what he did in his early days was just unbelievable. Um, he definitely likes his drink now, and I think that has affected his voice, which kind of is a bit of a croak now. But he's still a very, very nice guy.
Everybody talks about his River, but I prefer his first two albums, Bang Bang, uh, the old one.
Yeah, he was an incredible singer. He's at the Isle of Wight, the music sounded kind of country music, which was kind of strange, but you know,
But he was another teenager from England,
yes, yeah, he
uh,
was good.
and
He was good.
sure. And now you're going back to play this Marshall.
Yes, um, that will be really great. We will uh, we'll we'll go on probably somewhere near the end. They sort of squeezed us in last minute, and we'll have Toby sing a little bit. And I said I would play Mr. Big with Glenn Hughes, who was also another wonderful person.
Yeah,
And then,
you met him recently.
yeah, uh, and then Glenn will do his set after hours. So we're really looking forward to it. He is such a nice guy too, Glenn Hughes.
No, I attended his show here about a month ago, and
Yeah.
we were to talk after the show, but he got stuck in traffic jam on the way from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv. So
Uh,
after the show, he was pretty tired,
yeah.
as in fact was I. So I just looked at him. I said, I'm the same guy Andy Fraser came alerted you about. But I see you're tired, I'm tired, so let's do it over Skype.
Yeah.
He scribbled his Skype name, and now I cannot reach him. So
Um, I don't know his Skype name,
I know. He
but
connected.
I'll get to you.
He linked me up, but he doesn't answer. But I know he's busy, so it's no problem. So now about your book.
Yeah.
About your book. How long has it taken you to write it?
It's sort of been about making. Um, and it was only a half idea in the back of my mind.
Sorry, I didn't hear. How many years?
Maybe two or three. It was written quite quickly and then sort of while we decided when was the right time to put it out. And it came about because Mark Hughes, the guy who wrote it with me, wrote in one sentence, I just read your biography on your website. I want to write a book. And I knew immediately he got it. He got me. He got free, and I trusted him immediately, and I invited him over for a week to stay in California, and he just kept the tape recorder running, and I put everything aside, and he just recorded everything I said, and
Is it gonna be in print?
uh, maybe I'm not. I'm not so excited about print these days. I'm very digital. I mean, people try to give me a book, and I say no. Let me get it from Amazon so I can read it on my iPad. Um, you know, or I really do prefer that. There may be some offers to put it in print, and I'll look at them as they come up. Are you a book guy or a electronic guy?
I prefer to be holding something in my hands.
Oh, really? See, I hate that. Even before iPad, I would get a book stand and put the book on a stand so I didn't have to hold it. I hate holding newspapers or, I just don't get that.
So
I know a lot of people do.
when it comes to the reviews, if I have to review a tangible medium or download, I say when it's a download, it's 100 megabytes on my hard disk. It's a bit of difficult for me to make myself do it. But when I see it on my shelf, I feel like a remorse. I have to do it.
Uh, well, luckily for you, this one is 4 megs.
Yeah, but before we will discuss your book, there is I think one mistake that I saw, and if you're gonna send it to print, I guess you should correct it. There is a mention or two about Bob Dylan playing Isle of Wight festival in 1970, but he didn't. He played it in '69.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So when I started
I was.
reading your book, this fo- forward, it's like prelude to it. I say it sounds like a bit like preaching, a bit like proselyting, but it's Andy. I'm ready to take it from Andy because I know his story, and I think maybe it's a strong word to your ears, but we're friends, if I dare say it. But then I started reading the real bulk of it. I said it's extremely honest, extremely.
Yeah.
So, did you feel the urge to have your say in comparison to reviewers books on free?
Uh, um, I have a need to be open, totally, and honest. That that has been one of the big changes in me. Coming out is a form of being honest, even with yourself. Being in the closet is an incredible self-denial, and you have to come past your own self-denial, which took me years. So now I'm at the point where I don't care. Everything is out there. So there's nothing of, I've got nothing to hide.
No,
So,
now I don't mean the current situation.
mm,
I'm still on the free chapters of the book, but to be so self-critical about free and to be honest when it always been Rogers talking about free, maybe Simon a bit, but we had not so much from you. But now it's very refreshing and this uh, uh, seeing free as a body with a mind, a soul, a
mm,
brain. It was very very interesting to me, and
mm,
being self-critical. When people are content and happy, they don't tend to be self-critical.
mm.
Why did you decide to be self-critical now at this point?
Honesty requires it. And I suppose maybe I've always been quite self-critical. Is to recognize your shortcomings and go about changing them. You can't grow, where you're going, where you're falling short. So I guess I've always been self-critical.
And does it
That's the way to grow.
does it make it difficult for you now to write new songs?
Every song is like the first song I ever wrote. It doesn't get easier. You still have to dig as deep. You still have to be honest, open. Sometimes that can be painful. And then you get to the stage of, okay, how do I take my personal thing and make it universal? But every song is like giving birth for the first time. So, and it has to be better than the last one. So there's no resting on laurels. There's I have to get better.
But when people are too self-critical, they tend to be killing the song because they try to make it better, 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 and better, and it doesn't reach the heights of Bohemian Rhapsody with overdubs. It just killed in itself on the root. But your songs don't sound like it. They're very easy. So how do you balance these 2 points? Being critical and being light and easy.
It's a good point. I think in the writing of them, in the overall concept, in the message, the vibe you're trying to put out, I try to be critical and honest and as open as possible. And when I come to record them, I try not to get too tangled up in technical perfection. Um, and the song is written, just get in the groove.
But there's been Caribbean groove on your previous album. You
Yeah.
have it on your new album. So you're gonna carry on in this fashion, or you're gonna get something heavier. I don't know.
Well, I've sort of found with getting closer to myself, it's actually quite a natural part of me. My father was from Guyana and raised on calypso. And I think I inherited that. And reggae is the modern version of calypso. So I sort of think it's in my blood. So I think it will always be there. In fact, I can imagine 3 songs done in a more reggae way, along with everything else.
Riding on a pony would sound good.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear a reggae version of My Brother Jake, quite easily, or
But
Remember, or so. I suspect there will always be a little taste of it, but I don't want to shy away from getting heavy when it's appropriate.
just don't change the title to something like a Rasta on a pony.
That's good.
So, uh, do you think now about commerciality when you're doing a recording, or you just don't care because you can afford to do it for your own pleasure and for the pleasure of people who like this music or who like you?
I don't think about it, but I think I'm aware, or I try to stay aware of what else is going on. And I think that has an influence. I don't try to make it sound like this or that or like something current. I'm just aware of what is current and try and live in the present. So I think it has an influence without me being forced to sound like the Backstreet Boys or something. I do have the luxury of my own studio, and I don't have to worry about it costing, $100 an hour. And if I go for a crap, it will cost me $5. So I don't have someone breathing down my neck saying it's got to sound more like this. So there is a freedom, but I'd like to be aware of what's going on currently. In fact, more so than a lot of, I think, classic rock listeners. Sometimes your classic rock people are like, classic rock, that's it, nothing else. And I get the feeling
It's a bit of chauvinist point of view.
it may be. I get the feeling, like our parents, they like Perry Como or Frank Sinatra, and you get the feeling that's the music they would listen to when they were dating or something or getting married, and that just like they got stuck right there, and that's like goes with them for the rest of their life. And that may be the case with some classic rock people. Um, I like to live in the present. I don't want to be doing what I did as a teenager. I just turned 60. I want to express how I feel now, not how I felt then. That would be a lie.
But don't you think that maybe you should turn up the bass a bit more in the mix just to please your old fans?
I thought it was loud enough.
Because it was when I saw your pictures with Glenn Hughes.
Yeah,
What struck me, on the second thought, not maybe the first one, that he's older than you, but he's
one
preaching,
year.
yeah, but he's preaching on your altar, you know, because everybody's saying about you like bass god, and actually I do agree with them, but uh, when you talking about it, you always sound like it's a bit of surprise to you. So is it?
Yes. Yeah, I actually never thought of myself as a bass player. I started on piano when I was 5, classical piano, and then I went to the guitar and the other people in the band players that I was the diplomat. Was to be the guy who brought everything together, who said, okay, this is your space, this is your space. You can have total freedom within that space. and it's sort of an arrangement. And I'm happy to not play bass or play tambourine if that's what makes it work. I just do what is appropriate. And if it means not even playing, then I'm happy with that. So I'm not trying to be a bass god. The fact that people say so, I say, oh, great, that's good PR. But, you know, but I find it amusing.
But when you first took to the stage in recent years without an instrument, did you feel comfortable having your hands, let's use again the word, free?
It was a bit of both, because I think I actually sing better when I don't have to play the bass as well. I mean, everyone only has 100%. If you do two things, you know, at best you give 50% to either. So so it was sort of important to, like, okay, go for it as a singer, strengthen my voice, and more it's becoming easier to be a singer and a bass player. By the way, which is very difficult, and I credit people like Sting and Paul McCartney because it's a very weird combination, being the front line and part of the back line at the same time. A bass player thinks in half time. A singer usually sings double time and is ahead of the beat. To do both at the same time is kind of schizophrenic.
And what about Phil Lynott?
What about?
Phil Lynott, Thin Lizzy.
I don't know the word.
It's a name. Phil Lynott, Thin Lizzy. The band, Irish band.
Oh, Leonard Skinner?
No, Phil Lynott.
Oh, Phil, the bass player.
Yeah.
Was it you who asked me what is it like to be a I don't know the word you used. I think he's good. Also, a very good friend of Frankie Miller. Um,
He's dead.
yeah.
Yeah. No, but why I ask is about just like you, he was a bass player, a singer, an equal part of front line and back line, and
Yeah.
also had the black blood in him.
Also had a
Black blood.
yes. You used another word before, which took me by surprise. Um, I never gave that a second thought, actually. Um, he sort of reminded me a bit of Hendrix
Yeah.
in his vibe. Um, and by the way, their song "The Boys Are Back in Town" is again very popular. They're using it in a lot of commercials over here right at the moment. So yeah, he's good. I like him.
Yeah. So now you have, as you said, a plan for I think the next 2 years to be touring, to be playing.
Um,
So that's the
well,
future.
through the end of next year, yeah,
So that's the future for
yeah.
now. So,
Say that again. I didn't quite get it.
ah, so that's a big plan for to the end of the next year. Yes.
Um, probably not our own plane um, yet, and then I will demand my own double bed, which is basically what I miss about private planes, and avoiding the security systems at airports. Um, so while we're building Toby, I think we'll try and keep it responsible.
Andy, sorry, I still didn't find the song uh, that I sent to you. I'll try to find it next week, and if I want, so it's maybe you'll be the savior to find it.
Is it War the Enemy Within?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you find it? No.
No, but I was thinking about it, and I was trying to. Was it Enemy, the War Within, War the Enemy? I was trying to. It wasn't an easy one to remember.
No, it was
So
a war with enemy within. It grows on you. It grows in you.
no.
It was better. So I hope that you'll find it or I find it and we'll have a look because I'd like if I'm lucky and you like it. As I see it as a charity song, for some cancer fund, maybe for teenage cancer trust, that Daltrey is a patron of. I think it might be close to your heart and it's quite close to my heart because of the people I lost on the way
Yes.
to the terrible seat
Yeah.
illness. But yeah, so let's hope we find it.
Yeah, I remember receiving it when I was in a hotel in England. And with their Wi-Fi, sometimes only certain of your devices receive and only certain of them send out. The Wi-Fi is so weird. So I suspect it was on, well, I'll just search all my devices because I tend to carry them all.
That's the downside of being a digital man.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And the next, I think I'll send you an album of the band I wrote lyrics for. They're gonna release an album in a month. It's their third. They in their early 20s and they're from Belarus. So I think it should be interesting to you to have a listen.
I would like that.
They have a funky vibe, a bit of heavy, a bit of Robert Plantisms in their song. So that's gonna be it.
Oh, please, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. So thanks for your time. And please tell me, do you want me to send you a transcript for you to check, or should I put it as it is?
As it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
Andy, thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to finally talk to you face to face. And I think when I'm in Canada, there'll be a chance to meet and shake hands.
All right.
Let's stay in touch and thank you again.
Okay, Dimitri, great talking to you.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Bye bye now.